No, poca mister. Grande mister.
Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's festive days. I'm happy today. Why? Because the players are arriving at La Continassa. You just saw the intro video, it was the car, by the way, of Massimiliano Allegri this morning. Yes, Fiat 500, not the Jeep, there is no money anymore. No, anyway, it was a joke that I found online, it was quite funny. Honestly, Massimiliano Allegri arrived, but also the 14 players at his disposal this morning. We saw the cars of Moiskin, of Federico Chiesa that was already there, but also Paul Pogba that earlier this morning arrived in Caselle, the airport of Torino. Guys, we will go through that, what will be the request to these players that will train again today. Then, President Agnelli, his birthday with the super important words of Juventus yesterday, calling him, like I still call him, President and not ex-President. Attenzione, because Juventus is defending themselves. And then, what are the other president of the club saying about the topics Juventus? Well, I will already tell you, not a lot, but there is also a why. So we will go through that. Guys, put a maximum of like, subscribe to the channel. We go immediately with a double page of Gazzetta dello Sport, who is saying, Juve ci vuole allegria. Juventus, you need a bit of joy. You know that Allegri means joy, so you need a bit of joy. But it will be difficult if we are reading the papers with all the extra off-field topics surrounding Juventus at the moment, with the board of directors, all of them resigning. Well, Allegri will have to focus on the three things. The first one, of course, is focusing on giving them joy and also trying to recuperate these points that we are behind Napoli, -10, and paying attention to the one that are just behind us with -1. So we have to focusing on playing Serie A, winning games after games after games without being involved in everything off field. That's one. Two, how will he do it? Well, with the support of some big players of Juventus, or important players. We are speaking about Danilo, that is still not there because he's still playing with Brazil. By the way, yesterday, fantastic phenomenon, Brazil 4-1 versus South Korea. Danilo, but also Bonucci that is there today, and Cuadrado, one of the oldest one that are there here. Why? Because they need to guide these young players through the difficult moment. And then the third one is also focusing on the field, focusing on how will Juventus play. Apparently we will continue in the beginning with the 3-5-2, but with Federico Chiesa and with Paul Pogba, well, it will be normally a bit easier for Juventus to change during the game, but also to offer alternatives in that 3-5-2 in terms of names and faces on the field. This is for the players that arrived today. What about Pogba? You asked it, I answer you. Yes, he's there. He arrived in La Continassa. He will still train alone 15 days, so 2 weeks. We were speaking about 1, 2, some people were saying even longer, but normally it will be 2 weeks, so that he's ready to be on the bench versus Cremonese on the 4th of January. At least this is the plan. What about the other ones? Well, Vlahovic and Filip Kostic, they will enjoy a bit of rest after the World Cup elimination in the group stages, and they will be back on December 13th, 4 days before the game versus Arsenal. Will they be able to play it? It will be short, and really short, but you never know if they will be on the bench to give a bit of options to Massimiliano Allegri. Then we have Weston McKennie on the 14th, so 1 day later, and on the 15th, 2 days later than the Serbian connection, it will be the Polish connection with Szczesny and Milik, awaiting for the other ones that will come back probably after the friendly of the Juventus versus Arsenal. Yesterday, during the live, at a certain moment, it was 5 past midnight, we saw Juventus with a tweet that a lot of people didn't really understood, with some memes and so on, but Juventus went with Buon compleanno Presidente, happy birthday President. No, they are not speaking about Gianluca Ferrero, they are speaking about Andrea Agnelli, because today he's celebrating his birthday, and I will not read everything. We did it yesterday during the live. You can find also the link on the Juve site where you can really read it, but it's really important to highlight some of the words used by Juventus. So when I'm saying by Juventus, it's not the admin that had nothing to do in the night. No, he validated, triple checked, 4 times checked if yes or no the words used were the correct ones. And they are supported by all Juventus. Happy birthday, President Andrea Agnelli. Our president, super important. Then he continued to say, much has been written, much has been said, much will still be said. Why am I underlining much will still be said? what you are reading, it's not over, guys. Prepare yourself, Juventini. It is absolutely not over. And for the coming weeks, for the coming months, or maybe until the end of the Serie A, you will hear, you will read, you will be shocked. It makes no sense to come back every time in my DM to tell me, is that true? Is that true? Is that true? We will only know when we will start the process, and it's not today. So wait, be patient. But attenzione, Juventus, they already warned everyone. They continue with, while leafing through the papers, to the pages of the newspapers, you may risk losing sight of other pages, those of the history books, a history that has bound our club to one family for almost a century. Really important things. They're speaking about the papers. We know what you're writing. We see what you are doing, and we will defend ourselves. Attenzione, because our president, he did a lot. President and the family Agnelli, that for 1 century are owners of that historic club that became a legendary club. Guys, it's not bad, eh? It's absolutely not bad. After achieving victory, you immediately start thinking ahead of the next one. This was one of the concepts of Andrea. They put it again in that letter, a beautiful one. I don't go through all of them. I already did it yesterday during the live, but it's just to underline how important that letter was, because not only they are wishing the birthday to Andrea Agnelli, our president, but also they are showing to the world that we stay as a family all together. Juventini, it's the moment to stick together, and you will continue to read a lot of disgusting thing about our beloved Juventus. Gazzetta dello Sport, they are going with Balla Brasile, the Brazilian dance, because yesterday they danced after every goal. What a beautiful first half. Samba Brazil, it was fantastic. Are they speaking about Juventus? Well, yes, you see up in yellow with red words, chi faceva affari con la signora, who was actually dealing with Juventus in these plusvalenza cases, the profit cases, and they are going with a lot of teams. Will it be curious or not? What are they saying? How are they accusing Juve? We will open it in a second, but also Tutto Sport is saying, attenzione, l'inchiesta si allarga. The investigation is going wider and bigger. For Juventus? Or for the other clubs? Well, Tutto Sport is putting in the double page occhio. Pay attention. Eyes. Occhio vivo. Eyes open. The investigation is going wider and bigger. It's not only Juve. It is absolutely not only Juve. A body. He's saying, attenzione, we need to clean up the mess. But it's not only Juve. And it makes totally sense. Yesterday I was telling you during the live that you can't do profit alone. You can't deal Juventus first team with Juventus women or with Juventus next gen. No, if you are doing profit cases, whatever, if it's real or not real, these cases, well, they go with other clubs. Here in Gazzetta dello Sport, they are saying a lot of deals has been made with Atalanta, with Sassuolo, with Udinese, with Sampdoria. They go with a lot of teams, and it makes absolutely sense. And that's probably why the other presidents from other clubs, they are staying quite quiet at the moment. Lotito yesterday, he said beautiful words. The first time I agree with Lotito, he said, attenzione, Juventus have contributed to the livelihood of Italian football. I am not a magistrate. I am not here to judge Juventus. Everyone, when they win, they jump on the bandwagon. Then they run away when there are some problems. Well, he's speaking about all the Italian clubs. When Juventus was there, and he's probably referring also when we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, and all Serie A was benefiting from it, well, everyone was behind Juventus. Everyone was supporting Juve, complimenting Andrea Agnelli. Now that Juventus is in problem, everyone is stepping away. Everyone is judging. All the anti-Juve world on social media are attacking Juventus. Attenzione, it's not over, because he's saying they are running away, moreover, from the people that they all benefit from. Today, everyone talks badly about Juventus, but they have contributed to the livelihood of Italian football. Not only because we are the biggest club in Italy, not only because we are the biggest name, because we have the most international appeal, but also because we were the one that helped Atalanta, for example, to arrive in Champions League. How? Because we were the one that unlocked that fourth Italian position to qualify to the Champions League. A lot of things has been done by Juventus, said in that letter of happy birthday to the president, but also recognized by Lotito. Lotito that says to say that Juventus is the evil of Italian football is absolutely not right. Please read it, read the whole text because it's an important one. You can find it in our Telegram group, or immediately going to Foot Italia. You can find it online from our great friends. What about De Laurentiis, that usually would have jumped on attacking Juve? He's also paying attention. He knows there are also some deals really strange about Osimhen and so on, but he's opening to Super League. Super League in what kind of form, we don't know, but he's saying one thing. Well, people, they don't realize that at the moment, at today, we don't have the budget to survive in these competitions. The future of football is really difficult if we don't change things. At the actual moment, we don't have enough money. We don't have. What about the Super League? Well, at the end of December, 15th of December, we'll have the first judgments and see where we are there in terms of Super League. The problem is that they are not speaking because Italian football is a mess and is in big troubles. Calcio, ora è emergenza. Calcio, now it's an emergency. They are not only speaking about Juventus, but all the Italian football that is at risk, because a lot of them have debts, a lot of them can't pay what they need, a lot of them exaggerated with salary of players that they couldn't allow themselves. Juventus did, but also all the other clubs, we have some problems. Cairo, the president of Torino, he says, we probably don't deserve it, but we need some help. Guys, it's a lot. It's really a lot. Help? Well, Cristiano Ronaldo is probably asking for his 20 million about Juventus. I don't know if he needs it because his career is nearly over. Apparently, yesterday, shocking news about the world was shocked because he would have agreed to go to Al Nassr for 200 million a year. 200 or 250, depends what information you are reading. He will be the most paid player on planet. Does he really need that 20 million for Juventus? I don't know, because he will sign a contract in 2025. 200 million per year for Cristiano Ronaldo. That will be the most paid player, but also probably also announcing to the world, my career is over. I am an ex-player. I am an ex-king. What about Juventus? Can't they allow themselves new rich contract of 200 millions? Cristiano Ronaldo alike, like we did in the time? Well, no, but probably we have to go and intervene on the right wing. Karsdorp is a player that has his problems with Roma. He's about to leave to where we don't know. If Juventus wants him, well, they will have to negotiate with Roma. Roma that doesn't want to let him go for free or on a loan. They said, we put the price 10 million euro for Karsdorp, otherwise he remains here. Other players that Juventus is monitoring for a vice Quadrado role until the end of the season, or at least to already start thinking about the future, is Fresneda, the young player from Real Valladolid. He's born in 2004. The only problem with him is there is no loan possible, or you buy him or not. And if you want to go in a bid, that means that you have other competitors that are Roma and Inter. Let's see who will join from the for the right side. Then we finish with the Corriere dello Sport that is speaking about Ronaldo, about the Brazil, but also about Abodi that said and continued to speak about Juventus. He said, we want immediately to have the ideas clear. We want the verdict, the judgments. We want to know. It has to be really quick. Well, my friend, I doesn't agree with that. I totally don't agree with that. Okay, fast would make sense. I agree. But more than fast, I want precise information. In 2006, probably they went too fast and they sent us in Serie B because they were not aware of everything. They missed a lot of information and they focused on the mass media manipulation. So please take your time. If I did something wrong, I want to be judged fairly. Even if I have to be punished, but fairly. Not because we have to rush, like Abodi is saying. By the way, we should start in February with the process, if it's in Torino. If we are able to postpone it or to delocalization the court, it will be probably in Milano. Then we will have to wait even more weeks or months. Attenzione. Just to give you also a last information, because you will ask me about it. What about the black book of Paratici? Because you're speaking about a black book from Paratici and Cherubini. Well, that black book actually is just a A4 sheet of paper, one sheet of paper. They called it the black book. Maybe exaggerating. What are they speaking about? About strategy, about Mercato, and also about profit, with a word that is said creative, or what was the name? Artificial profit. That's the name that are on that sheet that they are calling the black book. Well, what is the artificial word standing for is quite easy. It's because if you have a real profit case, it means a young player that is already in his maturity, in his peak, and you are making profit. That's a normal profit. Then artificial profit, it's when a player is not yet at his peak, a young player not yet at his peak, but you are already selling him for the money that you think that he will be worth. It's artificial. This is actually the words of our director of sport, Cherubini. Will they think that it's right or not? We will see when we will be judged, not before. Thank you for following the channel with a lot of information. I hope you enjoyed it. Grazie, forza, Juve. And don't forget, put a maximum of likes.